Hello once again, my dear friends, and welcome to our Canes Camp Report. Joe Zagacki with my broadcast partner, Don Bailey Jr. We are speaking to you from the Carroll Sofer Indoor Practice Facility as we come down the home stretch of training camp. The last Canes Camp Report, by the way, Don, we're going to talk with Coach Addae today, as well as Vontae Williams, talk about the secondary. I think that's going to be a strength of the team.
It absolutely is, Joe. They're getting great coaching, and there's a great understanding of how the front end is tied into the back end. And I appreciate the fact that we've got some depth back there, and we've got 4 safeties that are going to be very, very important.
Canes had 8 interceptions a year ago. I think they're going to be very aggressive.
Yeah, I would like to see that number triple. And I don't think that's an outlandish expectation. You've got better corner play, and I think you're going to get a far better pass rush as well.
Okay, we'll continue on our show right after this.
Don Bailey with secondary coach Jahmile Addae. And coach, been a busy camp. Tell us what you got through it.
You know, camp is busy for everyone. We like to think that we make the hard things easy, and so we've had fun with it. But it's been a growth process. We like to say we like to fail up, in that there's going to be times where you love what you see, and there's going to be times where you don't love what you see. But that's what camp is about. It's about righting your wrongs, really growing as a group, which we have. And at the end of the day, just building a bond that's going to help you get through a long season that has turns and twists and winds to it.
Coach, let's jump right into the safety position. You got 4 guys competing at that spot, or 4 guys that are going to help at that spot. Depends on how you look at it.
Right.
You've got Williams, of course, Kitchens, and then Al Blades. Let's start with the group as a unit.
Yeah, absolutely. Safety group is a fun group to coach. There's talent back there. As you named, there's four guys that are playing really, really well, and even some of our younger guys are showing some promise. And so that group is making my job hard in terms of pinpointing necessarily one guy that is a guy. But that's also a good problem to have. You know, I think I'll start with one of the elder men, and that it's Al Blades, who's done a heck of a job. You know, jack of all trades, played meaningful football here in the past. Sat out last year a bit and has a chance to come back and sort of finish off his career the right way. Obviously, we know his lineage and what his name brings to the university and the program, and he's lived up to that bill just about full fold. He's handled his business the right way, true professional. Super mature and excited to have him. He's going to be able to help us this year in some big ways. James Williams has done a heck of a job as well. I mean, that's a big body that you can't miss out there on the field, that big zero running around. And the one thing about him is he's eaten up by the game, always wanting more information. Very, very sharp, cerebral kid. You give him something and it sticks. Obviously, his physical prowess is there, and he's shown the ability to make plays in flashes even last year in the run game and in the pass game. And he's grown throughout this offseason and excited about what we're going to be able to put him on the field as the new number 0. So excited there. We've got Avantae Williams, who is almost like my son. You know, you got to keep your thumb on him, but he's doing a heck of a job for us. And the one thing about Tay is there's never a lack of effort. You watch him, whether it's warm-ups or whether he's in a walkthrough or whether he's in a live situation, you can't tell based on his temperament. I mean, he's always on go. And as a coach, that's kind of my temperament. So it reminds me of myself in a sense. Tay's going to be really good with us here as well. He's got an opportunity to make some splash plays and do some things in the back end also. And then the last is Cam Kitchens, and not stated last for any specific reason, but Cam is a local kid who understands the game, very, very cerebral, smart, takes what you give him and applies it every single rep. Very physical in the run game and has the ability to play really good coverage on the outside. And so I'm excited about him as well. I tell you, I got a pretty good group in those 4, and like I said, some younger guys that have shown some promise also.
Okay, Coach, we jump over to the corner in the nickel position.
Yes, sir.
Everybody talks about coverage,
right.
But I watch you practice constantly. You talk a lot about tackling at that position as well.
Yeah, at the end of the day, football is still about the basics and the fundamentals. And at the end of the day, you still got to get the ball down, right, in order to play another snap. That's been a big point of emphasis for us, is improving our tackling from last year's outings. And we've been able to do that, right? Angles, wrapping the arm, keeping your eyes up, running your feet, all the fundamentals that we've been taught since high school or really Little League is what we're implementing into these guys and making sure that we hold them to a standard in that way. And they've gotten better there. Our nickels are going to be asked to tackle, our corners are going to be asked to tackle, and our safeties. We don't have any prima donnas, and to be quite honest, we've got all willing participants on this back end. So that makes my job a little bit easier in that way as well.
You talk about tying things together, Coach, the importance of having a pass rush and great depth on the defensive line certainly helps the defensive backs as well.
Absolutely. You know, a lot of defensive back coaches want to pound their chest about, you know, numbers and what they're putting out in production and so on and so forth. But the truth of the matter is those guys up front, they hold the key, right? They're the ones that make it go, you know, and if they're getting after the quarterback, it makes our job just that much easier. You know, playing in space is tough. Not only is it seen by everyone in the stadium, but there's some technique and some natural ability that goes along with it, you know, and so it's a tough job, right? But if anybody could do it, we'd go pull guys off the schoolyard to come and play. But we've got some elite guys that are up for the challenge, and we got a D-line and a linebacker group that have been getting after the quarterback all camp. So I'm excited to see what that looks like.
Coach, when you're recruiting a safety, what do you look for?
You know, a lot of times you ask that question, I think most defensive back coaches will start to talk about the physical attributes. For me, it comes down to the mental first, right? Is he cerebral? Is he intentional about what he does? Is he smart enough to learn and regurgitate the information that we give him? Because they are quarterbacks, right? And so quarterbacks lead the show, get everybody into or out of the wrong or right defenses. And so, you know, safeties are going to have to be elite above the neck first for me. And then from there, it's all the things that we know, right? Foot speed, the ability to play over a tight end, the ability to have range and play out in the middle of a field and be able to overlap your corners, the ability to get down in the box and really tackle and get dirty with the big boys. You know, those are jacks of all trades. They got to do it all. Even in this game, you know, you look at quarters, right? 4 guys vertical is all man coverage. So even in that, they've got to be sound in all areas. And I've got a few kids that can really play some ball. Excited about them.
Same question goes for the cornerback and then the nickel. What do you look for at the high school level, and then do they get here at the university?
Cornerback, not necessarily as much of the above the neck, but more of the physical attributes, where they have the foot speed to match guys at the line of scrimmage, where they have the long speed to play the ball vertically down the field, ball skills, and whether or not they judge the ball naturally, because that's the thing that I think a lot of people overlook. So it's more on the physical aspect in terms of corners. And then long speed, and I think I mentioned that earlier, but that should have been the first thing that I mentioned. You want guys that have erasers, right? When they screw up, they've got to be able to erase their own wrongs and get back in a phase. And that's probably the biggest attribute that you want on the outside is guys that can run.
Coach, you've been in this game at a very high level, coaching in the secondary. Talk about Tyler Van Dyke and what he does to a defense.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when you have a guy on the field that can make all the throws, it forces you as a defensive back end to defend the entire field. You know, there's some guys when you line up, you say, hey, listen, this kid throwing to the field isn't necessarily going to hurt us. Tyler can make every throw on the field, and so you have to defend the whole field. And that's probably the biggest issue there. The other thing is he can push the ball vertically with accuracy. There's some guys that have strong arms that you don't know where it's going to land. This guy seems to drop it in the bucket every time. So I'm telling my guys, the moment you relax, his ball will find you. And he's presented some problems in that way throughout camp.
Describe for us Coach Steele's defense, the University of Miami defense coordinator under Coach Steele.
Yeah, just aggressive style of play. I think everything that we want to do is to deny the ball or deny the man. And, you know, the one thing about Coach Steele is he's always buttoned up. Every detail, every small nuance, he's always going to be on top of it and be out and in front of it. And that's big. For me, I think it helps a young coach like myself in that you have somebody along your side who's seen everything there is to see in the game. And has answers for everything there is to have an answer for. And that's a security blanket for me. I've enjoyed working for him, and I think the kids have as well.
Thank you for joining us, Coach, and good luck next week against Bethune.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
To have a truly great career, you need to be with a great company. Now's your chance to go be great at AutoNation. Go to jobs.autonation.com for endless career opportunities. Work at America's largest and most admired automotive retailer that's driving towards $35 million donated to fight cancer. For industry-leading benefits and a great work experience, visit jobs.autonation.com now and go be great.
Back on our Canes Camp Report, Joe Zagacki joined by University of Miami safety Vontae Williams, who's had himself a nice training camp. Are you happy with your training camp?
First off, I just want to say thank you for having me, sir. And yeah, I'm actually excited. I'm having fun. I'm happy to be out there with the guys, and I'm enjoying every moment of it.
The safeties, you, James, Cam Kitchens, get Balaam and Blades involved. That's a good group, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a great group. Even the younger guys, all the younger guys in the rotation too, it's pretty fun, and I actually love everyone in the back end, so I'm enjoying it.
What's been the most fun part of training camp for you?
The most fun part is probably knowing exactly what I'm doing and being able to make a play on the ball in practice. It's just, and everyone being on the same page. You know, when the defense is doing really good, having a good day, I think like that's the best time for me during camp. Like when we're just consistent and having a great day, because you know, when you go to meetings, you know, coach will chew you if you have a bad day. So when we have a good day, it's a little bit more lenient. So that would probably be my favorite part.
Coach Addae says you bring it every day, great energy. Is that something that you want to emphasize for your own, for you personally?
Right. So me personally, I mean, that's just how I attack every day. So that's nothing that's always been a standard for me. And of course, like having a new coaching staff, and that's the way they approach every day. So I just feed off of their energy and mine, and that's just the way it is every day. So that's just a standard.
What's it been like for you with this new coaching staff? You got some really top-shelf coaches judging you, watching you, teaching you every day.
I expected that, so I mean it's pretty normal to me, but this is what I expected. So I mean, I take everything that comes with it, and I'm enjoying it.
Coach Addae said you bring great energy, and I think I was going to use the word acrobatic. Because I go back to the Georgia Tech game a year ago. Still one of the most fabulous interceptions I've ever seen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I just feed off everyone's energy, and, I mean, I just try to lead by example as much as I can, and that's about it.
What is it like? What do you think it's going to be like for the offense, receivers? When they look out there, they see you on one side and James Williams, you guys splitting the field. That's pretty imposing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be scary because we're all going to be rotating, so it's going to be – everyone's going to be fresh. So, I mean, the coaches, the opposition, they may never know what they're going to see, you know? So it's like I think it'll be a surprise for them because they may study they may study us too, and then two more safeties come out, you know? Yeah. So they'll never – I think it'll be hard for someone to just, you know, focus on – two people or one person. Like it'll be hard because we'll rotate a lot, I believe.
Yeah, I don't want to forget Kitchens and Blades.
Right.
Those guys work hard,
yes,
they
sir.
Play hard, and they get guys on the ground.
Right.
Right?
Yes, sir.
How about the tackling this year? Under Coach Steele, Coach Strong, Coach Addae, you are what you emphasize, and they've been emphasizing let's be a better tackling team.
Correct. I think that's just what they came to us with is just running to the ball. Everyone hats to the ball, so I think that made the tackling. I think that makes the tackling better when everyone's getting to the ball. If someone misses, someone's there to make the tackle. So I think that's the biggest thing. Just everyone getting to the ball and getting the ball down.
What's it been like for you to be a Miami Hurricane now?
It's a dream come true. I've been wanting to come here since the mascot was a little shell. So I remember playing the game like when I was little, and I always used to create a little player at running back. I want to be a running back, but yeah, it's definitely a dream come true, and it's just so surreal. So
yeah. How excited are you for camp to come to an end and get into the regular season?
I'm really excited to start classes. That was the biggest thing for me, just starting classes with a fresh start, meeting my professors and getting ready for the season. But the biggest thing to me was just getting into classes, seeing new faces, because we've been in here every day. You know, I've been just seeing my teammates, so I was just excited to start classes and see new faces. That was the biggest thing to me.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing, right? Going to class,
yeah,
it's an opportunity to absorb a bunch of different information. Right. You enjoy that?
Yeah, I enjoy that. So I take really good notes. We get told a lot to take notes, so I never really took notes in class. I always just stuffed it in my brain and just went along with it like that, or went online and did something. But this time go around, I'm taking notes in class and I'm seeing things a little differently. So I think that'll help me out a lot.
Look, I'm a lot older than you, and I still take notes, a lot of notes.
Yeah.
All right.
It helps a lot.
Yep. Thank you for being with us. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Good
Thank you.
job. Avantae Williams joining us here on our Hurricanes Camp Report.
We're all button pushers, double tappers, swipers, and now used car buyers. Go to AutoNation.com today. You'll see thousands of one-price pre-owned vehicles online right now. All your favorite makes and models, all quality inspected, all priced to sell with no hassles. Plus, we'll even pay top dollar for your car. Go to the AutoNation store near you or AutoNation.com. What drives you drives us. AutoNation.
All right, really good conversation today with Coach Addae and Avantae Williams. As I mentioned, I think the secondary is going to be a strength, but training camp coming to a close. Coach Cristobal has had a blueprint for training camp. It's been a successful training camp, and now here we go.
We're calling it now the U print,
Yeah.
now that he's putting his print on the U. But, Joe, you look at this camp, and I think one thing that's been great is the conditioning. How they started, how they finished, the health of this football team. Guys have maintained their size, and you see still a lot of competition is going to go to the last bell.
Been a physical camp, and it's also been a discipline camp.
I think those are two things that are staples of Coach Mario Cristobal. He wants teams that are disciplined, and he wants everybody, not just a line of scrimmage, to play physical football.
Okay, for Don Bailey Jr., I'm Joe Zagacki. Thank you for joining us this summer on our Canes Camp Report, and go Canes.